I think it goes without saying that there are some pretty bad takes on the internet. But what frustrates me are people are defending Timo Meier's dive against Cole Caulfield yesterday. I even named my video, "You Gotta Be Kidding Me," yesterday in relation to Timo Meier diving against Cole Caulfield. Yet there are really people out there defending Meier. I thought there were bad takes in the Montreal fan community, but man, I guess I haven't seen anything yet. Anyway, let's talk about it.
You're going for a leader. You're going for a leader.
If you missed my video yesterday, I recapped the Devils and Montreal game. It was a good two-way game, some mistakes here and there, and the first line didn't really show up for the Montreal Canadiens, but they hung in there and the momentum was good. The turning point for me was the third period. The referees really chose how the game was going to play out. One of the calls that I was glad they didn't make was on Cole Caulfield. One of the calls that I hope you make is to subscribe. I'd love to have you. We're at, 4,700 subscribers? Almost 48? 5,000 would be such a cool benchmark to make. Can you help me out? Oh, and like the video too. It helps me somehow. I think it helps me with search results or how I show up on the watch page. Comment too. I'd like to hear what you have to say, even if it's just to say hi. Anyway, getting back to Caulfield and Meier. I mean, I can slow it down for you, but here's what I uploaded yesterday. Then Caulfield, the absolute bruiser, destroys Timo Meier.
Nixon, Timo Meier frees Mercer. Mercer over the line, and look how Meier got.
This is ridiculous. Timo Meier went down like he was hit by a 50 caliber. One of the worst dives I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of Stützle dives. This is a soccer quality dive. I think he even puts his feet up in the air. Like, what the heck is that? This has no place in hockey. Meier, you're a bum for this. You're really worried about 5 foot, what is he? 5'7", 5'8"? You're gonna act like he took your face off? This one drove me nuts. Should have been called for embellishment. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. It's awful, looked awful. I'm gonna play Meier's reaction on repeat here. From that, it's pretty obvious, right? Even does the little leg kick. It's pathetic. And I understand at times players will try to sell the call. It's a case of the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Officiating isn't as easy a job as everyone makes it out to be. You kind of have to have your head on a swivel. There's lots of interactions on the ice. Certainly you should be watching the puck and where the play is at, but a lot of things can happen behind the play or alongside the play. So at times, I think demonstrating that you've been hit in the face with a high stick, for example, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. There's players that will absolutely not even let on that they're hit in the face with a stick, and that doesn't benefit the team if they're not called for that penalty. But Myers should know better than this. This does not look good. He's getting a lot of criticism online. He's got his supporters, but it makes me question if the remainder of the game and the reaction from the crowd on this influenced the referees to stack up those penalties and avoid calling New Jersey for the penalties that they were conducting. I feel like I'm starting to understand Martin St. Louis, and his address with the press after the game said to me he didn't want to blame the refs, and I don't think he blames the refs. I don't think he's ever blamed the refs, but it doesn't take much to read between the lines and figure out what he's trying to say here.
Down two, get a broken stick. You know, we turn the puck over, kind of a bouncer, you know, that creates their second goal. I felt we didn't get much help. I'll leave it at that. Finishing on some of our chances. Not have to kill two penalties in the third period. Maybe getting a power play in the third period.
That help that he wanted was calls from the refs. They missed a few important calls during this game. One that led to a goal and one that led to a clear in the dying seconds of the game, which could have resulted in a goal for the Habs. And then with the team down by 1 point, they called the Habs for two very soft penalties. So is that like a repercussion? Is that retaliatory for believing they missed the call on Meier? I don't know. They kind of play by their own rules. It's a little bit like the Wild West when you're talking about officiating. We see that much through the goaltender interference call, which went from a pretty good start of the season, understanding that if you're in the blue paint, you're going to get called for interference, to all bets are off. Don't touch the goaltender whatsoever. Don't even be close to the goaltender or you're going to get a penalty. To do whatever you want to the goaltender, be in the blue paint, knock him around, smash his pads, spear him. Don't worry, we're not going to call goaltender interference. So it drives me nuts a little bit with the officiating, but I think it's kind of like a necessary evil. It's something that we're going to have to deal with. almost wish there was a way for the league to rate their officials and only use the very best officials. Like if there's like a report card for these individuals, because when I see somebody suggesting we should use AI, oof, man, it would not be good. That would not be good for hockey. I'll put it this way. If every call was made, we'd be watching plays stop all the time. There'd be a penalty on every second play. I don't think you should call every slashing call. I don't think holding needs to be called every time. Roughing certainly shouldn't be called every time, at least by its definition. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they should just let everything slide, or unless somebody gets injured or it fundamentally ruins the play or doesn't allow the player with the puck to do what they were intended to do. But as much as possible, leave the players play the game. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? It's a difficult subject. It's been talked about a lot. There's a lot of nuance to it. I just don't really want my hockey to change all that much. One of the newer rules that has bothered me is the presence of blood. I hate seeing a trainer run out to the ice with a white towel, the whitest one that he can get, and smash it into the player's face on the ice, trying to get some blood glow going up in the schnoz just to get that extra 2 minutes. That bugs the crap out of me. Should it matter whether or not you're bleeding? Someone might bleed one time for a innocent high stick, whereas someone might get high sticked pretty violently, but they're not bleeding. What does the blood thing have to do with it? I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd just get all that off my chest, and I did say that I wanted to get a video out to you guys. Thank you for your concern, by the way, about me. I'm still coughing a lot. I get a tickle in my throat, and then when I start coughing, I can't stop. Or if I start laughing, forget about it. Even just now thinking about it, I want to cough, but I know if I start coughing, I can't stop. How are you guys feeling? I think there's something going around. Like, I think there's some bad viruses going around right now. Weather's changing, you know? Anyway, I hope you're all right. Good health. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks again so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Hope you're having a great Friday and hope you have a great weekend. In Canada, it's Remembrance Day on Monday. Lest we forget, honor the sacrifices of those who've fallen and served our country. Please comment in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Still comments rolling in from my video last night. Some funny ones, some ones that I'm kind of tilting my head at. Like, I'm surprised about the negativity from some individuals who don't usually act negative. I mean, yeah. What is it, 5 losses in a row now? It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. But cheer up. I think there's going to be some news on Line A soon. Subscribe. I really want to have you on my subscribers list. We have a good community here. We like to talk, to support each other, chat in the comments. If we continue to grow, I might even open up a Discord channel where we can talk hockey. I'd certainly like to be on there. I like communicating with you guys. I love talking hockey. Like the video, it helps me with something on YouTube. I don't know. Their algorithm is kind of weird. And as always, I'll see you down below in those comments.